What the heck, man? Analytics. Is it going? Okay. Well, that lasts like 7 minutes, I think is what it lasted. Cool. Get this whole thing going here. There we go. Okay. Hey, you got 5 of you back in here. What the hell? Sorry about that. It just was like, no. So, I'm failing. Internet's failing. We're all failing. But hey, you got 2 butts in the cam. So that's something to look forward to, right? 2 jiggle butts in the cam. Okay, so if you asked questions in the last stream, throw them into this one because I have no idea what was being asked because I didn't get that far. I made it like 6-7 whole minutes into the stream. All right. Shall we try again? Billy Mack Shinobi's back. Billy Mack is the first on this one. Oh, Andrew Stewart, you missed it. Okay. Zia trade 60% of the time. It works every time. Oh, it was a short show. Oh my goodness. Wish him hit the kill switch. No one this time. They're off to the side. They're good to go. Andrew Stewart Houston, can you explain BTFB to us dummies? Well, I might have to explain it to myself here. BTFB. Oh, Bank Term Funding Program. That one. It is money. Basically for banks to draw from so they don't fail miserably. That's probably the best way to think about. So, yeah, so Investopedia, it's an emergency lending program created by the Federal Reserve in March of 2023 to provide emergency liquidity to U.S. depository institutions. It was established in response to the sudden bank failures of Signature Bank and Silicon Valley Bank, which were the largest such collapses since the 2008 financial crisis. The program was created to support depositors such as American businesses and households by making additional funding available to eligible institutions to help assure that banks have the ability to meet the needs of all their depositors. BTFB offers loans of up to 1 year in length to U.S. banks, savings associations, credit unions, and other eligible depository institutions that pledge U.S. treasuries, agency debt, mortgage-backed securities, and other qualifying assets collateral. Basically, it's a repo for banks. Repo that lasts about a year rather than a few days or a month. The amount of money that's been sent out through the Bank Term Funding Program has been bonkers. I mean, so we've talked about how on Fridays, banks are scared that other banks are not going to make it through the weekend. So they're hesitant to like do the clearing on what they owe each other. So let's say Bank A has $1 billion supposed to send to Bank B, but Bank A is like, I don't know if Bank B is going to be around this weekend, so I'm just not going to send any money to them and see what happens on Monday. And Bank B may be absolutely screwed because of that. Well, the FTCC today announced that Deutsche Bank refused to pay what they're supposed to pay today on their obligation to other banks. They're like, no, we're not going to do it. Because I think Deutsche Bank is scared that if they lose the cash, they might be hurt. And being one of the most evil banks in the entire world, I don't know if they have access as a German bank to the U.S. Federal Reserve's Bank Term Funding Program. So we may see weird stuff happen and payroll problems. And I mean, it happens on Fridays, right? It's Friday before a holiday week. Weird stuff always happening. So there we go. Bill Coyne, before vacation, you mentioned trillions in equity swaps coming due. Update. They pushed the equity swap due date to, I think, January 8th for that weird quadrillion euro swap. My guess is they'll probably push it again because Who's got trillions of dollars, quadrillion dollars to pay towards those things? So we don't know what happens when it expires because they went and pushed the date ahead a couple of weeks. So yeah, it's weird. It's very weird. Okay, where was I? Robert Armstrong, hello from Northern Ontario. Where in Northern Ontario are you, Robert Armstrong? Are you in Timmins? Cochrane? Where are you? One of those tiny little towns that I passed through, and the cheese fry stand at one end of town and one at the other, and that was it. KYP's here. James Bond. That Laura Loomer interview of Due Diligence MMTLP. I'd not seen the interview because I won't use Rumble because its owner is the world's most terrible human being. And so I try not to use that. You guys give me cliff notes, but I really do wish we wouldn't utilize the voices of like the worst people in the entire world, because I think it hurts the message overall. And Laura Loomer is a very, very bad person. She just is. She's a white nationalist, straight up, and like I don't know. If you're trying to appeal to the middle and try to get like the most independence, the most people possible, getting these fringe folks are not going to do it. It's going to immediately just be a litmus test for them, and they go, "I'm out." Like James O'Keefe and Laura Loomer are not the people you want on board to try and fight this for you. They're bad people. So I wish we could find some mainstream folks to carry this torch for us. Dev Johnson, nice shirt, bro. Thank you. It's got Christmas trees. Look at those Christmas trees. Digital Christmas trees. Case Chapman, I'm in Lindau, southern Germany, on the border of Austria and Switzerland. Excellent. It's a beautiful place to be. Rolling foothills. I like it. That's a good spot. But James Bond says the interview went super well. That's good, at least. That's a lot of butt. Cali Ball, Blue Sky logo is now a butterfly. Are they trying to make us crazy? I posted that to the subreddit. I found it interesting. It's like, a lot of butterflies going on right now. But they're a not-for-profit like foundation, so I'm not sure. I don't think they'd have any plan. This is probably just a happy coincidence that their logo is now a butterfly. But it's interesting to say the least. Dan B, glad you're feeling better. I am feeling better. I'm still scratchy, but it takes a few days to get all out. You guys have all been there. VOH catching up to the end of the last stream. The kid hit the power button. No, he was there the whole time. Just the internet went, no, not happening, and just shut me off. And I am getting a bit rate warning that my stream is garbage. So, but at least I'm not max headroom yet. So we should get Max Headroom on here. I just watched a episode of Star Trek where Max Headroom was a guest star. He played a time traveler who was trying to steal, who claimed he was from the future, but actually was from the past, and he was trying to steal all sorts of tech to bring back the past, so he could claim to invent all the things. Excuse me. So, my goodness, I ate my lunch way too fast to get ready for the show, and I am the burp machine today, and I apologize. You guys know how it is. You guys have seen me burp a million times so far. Okay. You guys can't even look at me. Can't even look at me, you two. BJK031, Houston, I haven't been paying attention, but his finger is still a play. My February calls are pretty down, and it's 2 months in a row with no monthly pop. We have not had a pop from them since they got their investment from whatever that group is. They have not done their thing recently. Yeah, it's sitting around $4. Last week would have been, so yeah, they got nothing for the last little bit here. Monthly pop, monthly pop, monthly pop, monthly pop, and then brrr, settled. So nothing since the end of October. That was the last weird little pop, and it's been kind of settled around $4 ever since then. I think now we're gonna wait for probably good news on their earnings, I guess. Yeah. So I don't know. They got their funding, and the volatility is gone now. That's very strange. So I guess so. Andrew Stewart, Houston, do you know when you release a bad pitch that it's going yard? Yes. It's, I don't know. It's like, for the moment you release it, like if say you're hanging a curveball, like when you're throwing a curveball or a kickball. So curveball, you take the ball, you want to get 4 seams for it. So you grip here so that when you throw it, you snap down, and the forward rotation causes the ball to bite and go down. Now, sometimes you can go to do it, but you release it and it kind of comes out this way and ends up just hanging and not spinning at all with the seams. And that point forward, you're throwing a ball that's probably 5 to 7 miles an hour slower than your fastball. It's coming out of your arm differently, so the hitter immediately knows that it's not a fastball coming, and they have that moment they can sit back and wait for it, and it hangs. So it's called a hanging curveball. It just kind of sits up there and never bites, and that thing can get crushed. Other pitches I would get crushed on as if my fastball didn't, if I was throwing like a tailing fastball and it didn't tail. So for me, a tailing fastball, some guys, they might put their fingers literally on the ball. For me, I would do a split finger fastball. So my fingers are apart on the U of the seam, and I throw it. And if I threw it right, it would come in and then dart in towards the right-handed hitter. And if I wanted to get it to go the other way, I'd twist a little bit my hand, and I could get it to bite and go a little bit away from the hitter. But that would also come out a couple mile an hour slower than my 4-seam fastball. And if it didn't tail, that thing would just go right down the middle of the plate and just get roped into like left center field for many bases. But yeah, sometimes you let go of a ball and you just hope that they've been told to take a pitch and the bat's not leaving their shoulder. So yeah, it's, if you're a good pitcher, the only time they get a hit off of you is when you make a mistake. And that's the key of being a good pitcher. Now, good hitters, there are 2 kinds of good hitters. There's kind of that can hit anything. You're like Vladimir Guerrero's, your Ichiro Suzuki's, Tony Gwynn's, like they'll put the bat on the ball anywhere you throw it. And then you have the hitters that only wait for a mistake. They will not swing at anything until you give them a mistake. And they may fight some stuff off for foul balls until you make that mistake, and then they'll just crush it. And the rare instance you don't make mistakes is when you have a good game. Otherwise, everyone, like, it doesn't matter how many times you throw a baseball in your life, throw it over and over and over and over and over. You're going to goof. You're just not going to be as precise as you want to be. The catcher's calling for a ball down and away, and it comes up in the middle, and you just don't hit your spot. And being able to hit your spot is probably the most important thing, being able to place your pitches. So guys like Jamie Moyer, who threw 80 miles an hour, he was probably one of the most accurate placers there are. Greg Maddux didn't throw that hard either. He was throwing 90, 91, but he would hit wherever the catcher put their mitt and wanted the pitch, it would go exactly there. And so the pitcher and the catcher before the game, they're studying where these hitters have their weaknesses. And so, let's say, I don't know, Jay Buhner comes up to the plate. You know that Jay Buhner can't handle things that are up and in, right? And so you're like, okay, we're going to throw it on the upper part of the plate inside, and he's going to end up swinging over it every single time. So you may want to set things up. You may want to, like, get the ball off the plate so that maybe he reaches for it, and then throw it up and in, or up and in off the plate, up and in, and you can get a couple swings out of that. But yeah, you can tell when you fucked up. You release it, and like, oh no, just say goodbye. Yeah. Oh God, what's his name? Gosh dang it. It's a guy on the island. He used to play for like the Brewers and the Angels. He's the Jeff D'Amico. That's what it is. Jeff D'Amico. So Jeff D'Amico is a pitcher. He's a journeyman. He played for a few years in the 90s. And I was talking to him one day. He's the golf pro at the golf course here now, the private club. And I was talking to him once about pitching, and his thing is like, he's like, the major league level, most people are mostly stupid. Like, they don't have the ability to synthesize like, oh, they get me out this way every single time. They just go and reach for it every single time. And it's kind of interesting because I was always like trying to think like, oh, at the major league level, they're probably just much smarter about analyzing their own weaknesses. And he's like, no, they're dumb. Most of them are just dumb jocks. And he's like, sometimes the problem is you overthink everything, and that could be the problem. Jeff D'Amico. I remember that. That's right, Kat. You're now king of that box over there. Good job. All right, where was I? For State Productions, Chipmunk likes your shirt. Hey, Kat. Come here. Hey, Kat, come here. Come on up here. You haven't come up here and done cocktail karaoke in a while. Get up here. Come on. Don't you dare rub my leg. Get up here. Come on, you're wasting my time and your time and everyone else's time. Meow. Come on. Well, whatever. Jess from Dax. You think RC had to give Larry Chang the A-OK to go on the PP show? I'm sure they discussed it. I mean, he is the manager of his own fund, but he also is an insider at GME. So that's why I think Pulte was like, you can't ask your question. You have to tell me what the question is, and then I will ask it when he was at the thing. Because I think they had agreed upon, a boundary line as to where the questions could be. So to be inside a very narrow box there. So yeah. And there's Andrew Stewart. Lucy Liu does erotic paintings in New Mexico. I've learned that from the last show, but the show may have cut off before then. So, yes, Iggy, your job is to now find Lucy Liu erotic paintings in New Mexico. Well, since you're there. All right. Just Miami. Vonnie says hello. Oh, Julius, I also need to get an address from you. I forgot to ask that. Now that I'm up and about, I had to mail you your shirts. That's what I need to do. DJ BD. Pulte is a dog whistling narcissist. Wink and nod, but says he knows nothing. How did the ice cream show up at Airport 741? Amazing, Bill. No clue. He wants to be adorned like RC. I mean, who doesn't want to be adorned and appreciated and loved? Hey, Robertson Timmons. All right. Next time I'm in Timmons, let's hang out. Who doesn't want to be loved and adorned and high-fived and cheered and everything? Just most of us don't have the financial wherewithal to make it happen. I do think he knows things. I do think he very specifically says, I did not buy any, BBBY or anything like that. But he has not really answered a question as to other sides of the play it could be invested in, such as IEP or GME or dip facility or whatever. That there are other things that he could be doing. But yeah. So. But yeah, Robert Armstrong is in Timmins. It's been a while since I've been back to Timmins. My family has a big chunk of land there, about halfway between the Kidd Creek mine and the Hollinger mine. Hoping to turn it into a giant gold and copper mine one of these days, and silver and zinc. But it's still in my great grandfather's name, and we've been trying to get it into my dad's name because he's been paying the taxes on it for the last 50 years. Proven difficult. Canadian real estate law is not as easy as it is in the US. So maybe one of these days we're going to make it happen. I don't know. Fatso Katso, come here. Come on. Come here, you fat chunk. Oh, hefty boy. Oh, yeah. Get up there. Cattail karaoke. Okay. Michael Steegs, Houston. What about December 4th filing for Butterfly? No problem. The December 4th filing for Butterfly. What filing for Butterfly on December 4th? Yeah, I don't remember any particular filing for December 4th for Butterfly. Don't you dare try to leave, Cat. That's right. You get up there. Show everyone your beehole. I don't know what filing you're talking about, but remind me and I will talk about it. Josh Papel, Tennessee is here. Case Chapman, I think Pulte will be making a presidential run. Just seems like he took out of Trump's playbook with the PP party. What better way to win voters than helping a bunch of poor people become millionaires? I mean, he may try to do that. Someone went up there and asked a question, like, "Hey, you're for president one of these days?" He's like, "No," but that's what they all say before they're for president, right? He seemed very nice. I didn't really get a chance to chat with him. But he is much farther on the right than I would want as president. And I could put him in my pocket. He's quite a little guy. He's a little dude. And in the age of television, little dudes have never won the presidency. That's just the way we are in this country. Creole for breakfast. Someone said that a huge equity swap that has a large amount because there was no amount entered, 9s are the default number in that tab. That's, I think, what Boss Blunts was talking about. It seems weird to me that you would have no amount entered and then you'd still push the date, though. That seems very strange to me. Like, why would no one correct that? Why would you have a swap with no value and expect people to do something about it, and then they see there's a quadrillion euros? And the currency changed. The currency changed from being in euros to being Canadian dollars, which is very strange. I don't get it. I don't understand for a moment what could be going on. There's also other huge equity swaps out there. They're for like 100 trillion, not full of 9s. They got other digits in there. So, I don't know. It's weird. Very weird. Richard K., how much impact will CV Payne's interview with Senator today covering NOTLP topic have? I haven't seen the interview yet. I'll try to watch that probably this evening. It should have a lot. I mean, they've got 70 co-sponsors of that letter. So 70 Congress people and senators signed that thing. That's getting to be a critical mass of elected officials. I think Gensler and Finra are going to have to answer some questions at this point. So, buy my records. AMC Jimmy, what is going on? Well, AMC is diluting the float more, paying off nominal debt by doing that. And GME is going to probably become a holdings company that happens to own GameStop as well as other things. So, I think big things are coming. Nate P., can you give any insight on this new tinfoil day, the first trading day after Christmas? No, I haven't seen any tinfoil about that, so I cannot do that. Zia Trades ever throw an ephus pitch? Yeah. I mean, I threw knuckleballs. So. If you guys don't know what ephus pitch is, it's I think Greek for nothing. It's nothing. Mark Langston have thrown. We call it the la pitch. There's some other guys that have thrown them recently. I think Kershaw's done it a couple of times. What it is, you just lob a ball in there. So it's not changeup because you're not throwing it as if you're throwing a fastball, but it's coming off slower. It is you go to wind up, and you just kind of lob the ball in there. So it goes, might be 55 miles an hour, 48 miles an hour, like really slow, as if you're doing a softball pitch. So that's an ephus pitch. It really, really messes with the hitter's timing. They just can't catch up to it. They're used to a ball coming at them basically on a plane, and so when it crosses multiple planes, and they aren't set up to hit softball homers, it can really mess with them. So you don't want to do it too often. You do it once, twice a game, maybe, if you're going to do it, or once every few games, as some of them do it. I watched a clip of Cody Clemens. He's a I think he's an infielder. He's pitching in a blowout that the Angels were up like 9-0, and so they put him in there just to save the bullpen, and he struck out Ohtani on basically a 60-something mile an hour ephus pitch, and he asked him to throw the ball so he could keep it because he's like, I struck out, the best hitter in the game today. But yeah, I since I threw knuckleballs anyway, and my knuckleballs would vary from 45 miles an hour to like 80 miles an hour. I could throw basically equivalent ephus pitch, but it would float and dance, and that I did that all the time. Video guy, man, that shirt makes me think of Chef singing Love Gravy for some reason. Wanna make love to you, woman, gonna lay down by the fire. Oriana Mosca, Houston. Something you never did, but would like to try. Love the shirt. Something I've never done, but would like to try. Go skydiving. Although my friend Sarah did just shatter her leg skydiving. And I was like, you might not be able to walk again. What else? What else would I love to do? I've never been in a submarine. I've toured a submarine, but never been out underwater in a submarine. That'd be kind of cool. What else? Either go parasailing or something, or hang gliding. I'd love to. There's a lot of places I'd love to visit. I don't know if that really counts. Pitch batting practice to a professional baseball team would be kind of fun. Just watch them just smoke my 60 mile an hour throws all day long. That'd be fun. What would you want to do, Monkey? What is it you've never got to do that you want to do? You want to catch a deer? Want to do that? You can catch a deer. You want to catch a deer? Okay, well, we'll do that. We'll catch a deer. You and me. We'll catch a deer one of these days. Yeah. That's right. We will. Yeah, you know it. She's like, liar. You wouldn't let me go outside when that deer is limping in the yard, and that was my chance. Okay. Richard K. Thurman Munson was awesome at working pitchers until he got the pitch he wanted. Mm-hmm. There are some players that are absolutely incredible. I just getting the tiniest piece of the ball enough, just throwing the bat out there. Not even swinging full. They're just making sure it chips foul until the pitcher tires out, and on the 15th pitch, they get the one they want and smoke the ball. It's an art. I do not have the bat skills to do that if I were a hitter. I'm the type of guy who can only hit a mistake pitch. Otherwise, you're getting me out. Ooh, Hans got some coordinates for us. Oh, baby. Let's Where are we going? We haven't got coordinates in a little bit. Google Earth. Boink. Whoops, you're on the wrong screen, Google Earth. Get you back over here. Turn on the Earthmeister. Okay, Hans, where are you taking me? Kapow, enjoy these coordinates, and as always, happy birthday, Houston. And the rest of y'all, Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Oh, we're going. We are at a farmhouse? We are at a farmhouse. I didn't even look at where we were landing here. 39,121. California? Central Valley, maybe? Shall we go down to the street? See where we are? Oh. That's a butt. I love that they'll automatically blow out faces and license plates, but they don't have a bot designed to blur out the butts on roofs of carports. That's a good one. Thank you. That's a good one. Where are we? Gotta zoom out now and figure out where. Exit Street View. Where am I? Nice butt. It's a butt up there on top of that carport. We are... Really, cat? Yeah, Central Valley. There we go. Meow. It's one of the weirdest mountain ranges in all of America right here. The Buttes, man. All right, Sunset. Near Live Oak. Yuba City, closest town there. Word. Cat. Shut up. Okay. Prostate Productions. How long does it take helium blue to escape your grasp, I guess, to come back to Earth once? Wait. What are we trying to ask? How long does it take for a helium balloon that escapes your grasp, I think I mean grasp, to come back to Earth once? Well, the helium won't. Helium's gone forever. So the balloon rises and rises and rises and rises, and it keeps expanding as the air pressure gets lower and lower. Basically, it'll go up until it pops. And then all the helium escapes, fires off into outer space, and the balloon itself goes and lands back on the Earth, and then, like, I don't know, some duck eats it and chokes to death and dies. But the helium itself never comes back. It's gone. It reaches the top of the atmosphere and then gets blown away by the solar winds, never to return. Yeah. Remember Dan Quisenberry? Dan Quisenberry was an excellent long reliever. Cat. Chill, buddy. Chill. You got no reason to go anywhere. Nate P, do we have any hope before the May 14th date? I don't know what the May 14th date is. I would think that if a credit bid's going to be made, it's going to be made the moment that pump and dump lawsuit is no longer a thing. And then there. That's what I'd hope. So whenever that gets dismissed, that's when I think we'll see a credit bid come in, and hopefully sometime in January. Oh man, Judith Cohen and that Todd guy, dang you buttholes, ruining everything, just slowing everything down. Oh my gosh, I think without those two clowns, we'd be a lot further along than we are. I think Michael's talking about the Edgar filing of DK Butterfly on December 4th. Edgar? There's a filing in Edgar from December 4th? Oh, staff action notice. That one. Come here. Come on. Open. All right. Order declaring registration statement abandoned under the Securities Act 1933. Yeah, this is the one that was talking about the shares that were going to be sold and weren't sold, and then they got rid of them because they weren't sold. So that's all this was. It reduces the share count by a lot, by probably 300 million shares or so, and shaka bra. So that's the one. We talked about that probably around when that happened. Monkey butt right there. If the cat fall off the chair or jump off? I wasn't really paying attention to that part. Steve Dice, I hope you have a good time at Christmas and a healthy and prosperous New Year. We're getting there, right? It's gonna be. You're having a good time, right, Cat? Right, buddy? Have a good time? Yeah? Is that what you're thinking? Thinking I'm a good time, Cat? BFH and oral tinfoil, please. Just use the facts you have to find conclusions. Tinfoil's fun, but it doesn't get us anywhere. Is the property on 655 closer to Timmins or Kidd Creek? I can't show you a general area where it is. Bring up the old Google Earth again. It's along the Hoyle Fault. I don't know if you know the Hoyle Fault, but that's the fault that Kidd Creek mine is on. So you got Timmins here. Kidd Creek mine's up here. And you got the Hollinger mine is what here? Is this the Hollinger or is this the Dome mine? This one is the Dome mine. Sorry, Dome mine. Hollinger, I think, that's the Hollinger mine. Yeah, Shiny Twain Center. That's just the Hollinger mine. So I guess we're between, Kidd Creek and the Dome mine. And we are just above Round Lake, which is this little guy. And below, I think this is Bear Lake, or Little Goose Lake. That's right. And we are somewhere in here. So the Hoyle Fault goes through here and through the Dome mine, and we're in there somewhere along the Hoyle Fault. Can't remember the exact spot, but it's pretty close to where these roads cross. It's somewhere in here, but it's not exactly where the roads cross. It's hard to get there. In like August, it's pretty dry oftentimes. You can get out to the land. Otherwise, you got to be out there in the wintertime. And it's because it's just kind of ooky, almost swamp, whatever. There's a couple outcrops of mudstone that are out there, but that's about it. But that's where, yeah, somewhere in there is where our land is. Yeah, so last time I was out to the land was 2009, so it's actually been a long time since I've been out there. But this is, you guys have talked about how HYMC, Hycroft Mining, needs to have a mineralogical plant. So the Kidd Creek mine, which is the deepest hole in North America, and actually because the Earth is an oblate spheroid, it's the closest human beings ever gotten to the center of the Earth, it drops down, I think, almost 12,000 feet now. So it's an open pit mine, and then below the open pit mine is also another like 10,000 feet of tunnels. Well, I guess it's actually technically like 2,500 kilometers of tunnels, but they go down to a level of around 12,000 feet. Then there's a rail line. So they take all the ore, they dump it onto this rail line. The rail line heads on out and goes all the way out here to the Kidd Creek Mineralogical Facility. And this place is a giant factory where they process all the material in this big plant here. And then they dump all the excess stuff and the chemicals and everything else in this big giant pile out here into these ponds. And some of the tailing piles are quite impressive out here. That's the town of Hoyle. And there's a couple rail lines, so other people are using this facility, even though it's the Kidd Creek facility. They'll pay money to have their ore processed here as well, and they get a cut of it. But there's an absolutely insane amount of minerals here. So the Dome mine did like 10, 12 million ounces in gold. The Hollinger mine did 20 million ounces in gold. The Peacock mine, Peacock Gold Rush. Of course, Porcupine mine did another 20 million ounces of gold. There's several other mines that have all done millions of ounces of gold. Basically, more gold was discovered in this area. The Kid Creek mine has done 20 million ounces of gold as a byproduct of their copper operation. So they've done, $40 billion in gold as just a byproduct of the copper they mine out of this place. Anyway, this is one of the most mineralogically intensive areas in the entire planet. And more gold has been discovered here than during the entire California gold rush. It's pretty bonkers to think about that this, what's this area across? 20 miles, so 400 square mile area has produced more gold than the entire state of California, which was one of the largest gold strikes ever. Was the mother lode. It's bonkers to think about. And there's a lot of places that have not really been explored yet because there's not the manpower to do it. I mean, they have a hard time finding people to work the mines up here to begin with. You can make some insane pay. I don't know what you do, Robert, but you can make really good money working a mine in Timmins because no one wants to live there. It's 9 months of winter, 3 months of bugs. Except that little window, end of August, beginning September, where the bugs aren't there. Black flies, mosquitoes, yeah. Interesting part of the world, for sure. Okay. BFH calling out shills for not having the facts on their side is good. Do the same for non-shills. Galaxy Brain shill play. Get people hyped for stuff that will never happen and find another thing to get the mob hyped for whenever the first hype date doesn't pan out. I mean, you can make as many date predictions as you want, but it all comes down to each day we're closer to knowing than we were the day before. Make as many hype dates as you want. Won't matter. We still have no power at all on this play. We are not the decision makers. So just wait. Robert Hurt, Otani to the Dodgers. Shake my head, just like Wall Street. Rich get richer. And we become investors in Honeypot. We can buy an MLB team and show them how it's done. Yeah, and the Dodgers just signed Yoshinobu Yamamoto today. Oh my gosh, Mariners. Mariners, the most profitable team in baseball. 2 years in a row, made more money than anyone else. They own their own television network. They jack the prices of their tickets. They jack the prices of subscribing to Root Sports television network to watch the games. They've shed $30 million in payroll and about 300 RBIs a year. And they've made no moves to get anybody of quality on the team. They should have signed Jung-Hoo Lee. He would have been an outstanding Gold Glove caliber outfielder and probably be Rookie of the Year in the American League. They should have signed Yoshinobu, who would have also been running for Rookie of the Year. So both of them are only 25. Yoshinobu is the best pitcher on the planet, period. People are like, oh, he's pitching in Japan. Dude, he dominates. He'll dominate any level. He's an amazing pitcher. There's a reason why the Dodgers are paying him, $30, $40 million a year. Plus the posting fee of $52 million, how much it costs just to buy the rights to give him that contract. Oh, Mariners. I had such great hopes for you. Pulling the trigger. But no, you got rid of our third baseman. You got rid of our right fielder. We have no left fielder. We have no second baseman. We have no designated hitter because Tom Murphy signed a deal with the Giants and he was the best hitter on the team last year. Mariners are going to lose every game this season 2-1. That's what's going to happen because they got no offense. And then Kelenick's going to hit 35 home runs and have a 900 on base percentage in the middle of that Atlanta lineup. Monkey butt, what are we going to do? The cat take your spot? Now you're all hyped? Are you staring at me because it's time? Is it time? Yeah, is it time? It's time for stinky beef. Come and get it. Come and get it. Come on. Come on. There you go. You got that one quick that time. Oh, it's so stinky. Ugh. It just smells like dog breath is what that stinky beef smells like. Okay. See, Dice in Houston, please explain in layman's terms what a pump and dump lawsuit is, and what are, in your opinion, what the major steps in realizing some sort of return for BBY shares. Well, pump and dump lawsuit is basically what they're claiming is Ryan Cohen was not allowed to sell his shares when he did because he'd become an insider. And if you sell your shares too soon after becoming insider, any profit made between when you got those shares and when you sold those shares has to go to the company. Cohen's claim is that, hey, I didn't choose to become an insider. Those assholes did a stock buyback, and that resulted in me becoming an insider. And the BBY board did an investigation, and they're like, yeah, he doesn't fall into those rules. So that's what they're saying. Is like he pumped the stock price up after buying and then sold and got out when he wasn't allowed to. Now, what steps have to come for them to realize gains? Okay. So, or realize some sort of return on BBY. Gotta get rid of the pump and dump lawsuit. Gone. And then the money behind the dip financing, 6th Street, needs to make a credit bid for the company, saying, hey, you'll accept ownership of the company in lieu of being paid back the $500 million owed. That's what needs to happen. If they do that, they do so to benefit from the net operating losses, the NOLs. And if they want to benefit from those NOLs, then they got to reissue equity to all the existing shareholders. And that's how we realize our gains. That's it. Those are the steps. Get a pump and dump, credit bid, issue no equity. Kelly Reed, happy birthday, buddy. Do you think the economy will have a mild or severe recession? I think it's going to be worse than what everyone's thinking. And the fact that they've held it off for 2 years at this point has been really impressive. I'm absolutely flabbergasted that we have not had any like real comeuppance happen. We've really been just messing with the economy and doing weird things to like ensure that, hey, the good times are still rolling. The Dow's at 37,000. We're never gonna die. It's weird. Would not ever been to Hidden Night, North Carolina? Largest emerald in North America. Was mine there. I have not been to Hidden Night. I would love to go. There's private property out there you can pay and go mine the streams and find emeralds. I'd love to do that. And also, Hidden Night itself is a very rare gemstone. I don't think it's a beryl. Is it a beryl? I don't think it is. But it's cool greenstone, emerald-ish looking. Maybe a little flatter, more like British Racing green emerald color, green color. Yeah. Robert Armstrong retired. Oh, there you go. You love retired. Enjoy your winters. Carrie Burrs, you want more Blue Sky codes? Oh yeah, Charity Tuesday is coming. Day after Christmas, Boxing Day. The plan is to have Jake to be on the show, and I'll see if anyone else wants to come on. And we're raising money for Shriners Children's Hospital. So yeah, send me your Blue Sky codes. We'll make our list, and hopefully it'll be just like the last time. Anyone who donates has opportunity to get a Blue Sky code and get on there. So yeah, come and get it. BFH, someone should tell the Mariners management that Moneyball is good, but not that good. They need to actually spend money to get any players. Yeah, you can get yourself into the playoffs with Moneyball, but you aren't going to win without having the best of the best. The Mariners have the money to do it too. Like our payroll last year was like $145 million. Now, if they had gone out and bought one more bat last year, Mariners would have easily been in the playoffs. Probably ahead of the Rangers. They're the best pitching staff in baseball, period. And they'll probably have one of the best pitching staffs in baseball this year. But man, anemic hitting, dude. You can't have. Let's look at some numbers here. We're talking baseball. We got another couple minutes here. You guys got me in a baseball mood. Okay. 1996 Mariners. I will say this time and again, had the greatest batting order in the history of baseball. Better than 27 Yankees, better than the 32 Phillies. Hands down, the best lineup in baseball history. Okay, get out of my way. All right, Dan Wilson, solid catcher, on base plus slugging 774. Paul Sorrento, outstanding first baseman, huge hitter, 23 homers, 878. Joey Cora, the weak link on the team, and that Rich Amaral was not that much. I mean, once Witten got in there. So the weakest link on the team was Joey Cora, who was a very good second baseman. Alex Rodriguez, Russ Davis, all right, third baseman. Ken Griffey Jr., Jay Buhner, Edgar Martinez. Look at those. 1,000 on base plus slugging, 1,000 on base plus slugging, 926, 1,000 on base plus slugging. Then you get into the fact that we got Mark Witten halfway through the year. He's at 1,006. And then we had Dave Hollins come in at third base all of a sudden, and he was at 916. Meant that once we got through the All-Star break, you no longer had Rich Amaral and Russ Davis doing much of the heavy lifting there. You had Witten and Dave Hollins. So we had 5 players on base plus slugging over 900. I don't think it's ever happened on a baseball team. And it meant the lowest on base plus slugging in the entire team was Joey Cora at 77. But you look at the pitching. Sterling Hitchcock was our stud, and he had a 535 earned run average. Jamie Moyer came in halfway through the season. He was our only stellar dude, and this is because Randy Johnson was injured the entire year. He didn't pitch. So Randy Johnson was on the sidelines. He pitched a few games and he got injured. He was 5-0 during that time. But we had a shit pitching staff. Now you go to the 2023 Mariners. Missed the playoffs, 88-74. Hitting wise, 700, 400, 800. Okay, JP Crawford. 700, 800. Julio Rodriguez. 700. And Mike Ford, gone. Best hitter on the team was Tom Murphy. He was our backup catcher and sometimes DH, 873. And he just got signed by the Giants. So we got rid of Teoscar Hernandez. So there's 26 home runs, 93 RBIs. We got rid of Eugenio Suarez, 22 home runs, 96 RBIs. There's 200 RBIs right there. And we got rid of, where are you? Kellenic, there's another 49 RBIs. He injured himself partway through the season. So there's 250 RBIs. Tom Murphy, another 20 RBIs. Dylan Moore's gone. Mike Ford's gone. So there's 300 RBIs gone. Pitching, though. Dominate us. So good. So incredibly good was the pitching. Whips. Look at these. I don't know if you guys know about walked hits per inning. Anything below 1-1-2 is phenomenal. And 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-1, 1-2, 1-0. Just phenomenal. Phenomenal starting pitching. All wasted because these clowns could knock in base runners. So we lost games 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. Wasted so many excellent pitching outings. Oh well. C'est la vie. Okay. All right. First one, no name. Sorry I'm late. IEP thoughts for next week. It did good yesterday and today. I don't think IEP does much until they make a giant announcement. I think the shorts will keep hammering it down until Carl Icahn's ready to just like break them. Then I think IEP runs. Until then, I think it's going to fluctuate between like 15 and 20. It won't matter how much money people are making off of those dividends. It's going to be the best deal around. And yeah, so. All right, I got to get going. I got to get to the post office before they close. I'll try doing another short show tomorrow. My voice is like, I feel like I'm about to just crack here. Thank you for joining me for the second part of this show because the first part just vanished on us entirely. And you guys have yourself a good weekend. Merry Christmas. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. And high five. Okay. Have a good night. And it's dark outside, so I might as well do this.